Today we are going to talk about Hurricane Lee and the impact it is already having on New England cruises. We've also got updates from the cruise ship that was grounded, first-hand experience from a Princess Casual Dining venue, and more to come. Also updates from Nicaragua. We've got an itinerary change on that, which I think will be widespread, as well as lots of other updates. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and today is Wednesday. It is September 13th of 2023, and I would like to invite you to please subscribe to our channel. We'd love to have you with us, and I think that you will love to be part of our community, and we share lots of information here as well that I think you will find handy. Also, if you appreciate these updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? It's amazing how a simple thumbs up makes such a big difference with YouTube, so thank you. So yesterday we had a little bit of a glitch and our video did not end up going up until I think between 11 and midnight Eastern time. So I apologize for that, but if you've seen my video, I talked to you all and you should see it. It has lots of great information. But one of the things I talked about was Voyages and their excellent customer service. And along with that, I mentioned, watching other people's videos, I didn't think Voyages was for me, but I thought I should take another look because of their excellent customer service. So I watched a few videos, reviewed some things, and I have realized that Voyages isn't for me. And truly, that's why we have all these cruise lines, because you kind of choose what you're looking for on your cruise experience and then you go with that. So it doesn't mean anything is wrong with it. It just means it's different than what I'm hoping for when I go on my cruise. So wanted to put that out there, but catch that video because I think you'll find it valuable. Alrighty, now the next thing is Hurricane Lee. Hurricane Lee is all over the news. We're thinking about it with people making preparations so that their homes are safe, so that they are safe, making sure that everything is ready as the storm moves up the coast. And so historically, and truly with this storm, and I know that many of you are with me in keeping these people in your prayers, is the storm moves along. It's set to brush Bermuda and then head up the coast even more. Part of the United States has already had a lot of weather associated with Hurricane Lee. But I've been following the news very closely because I'm supposed to be boarding the Emerald Princess on Saturday, and indeed I'm planning on that. And that storm looks like it is set to hit New England over the weekend. As I look at the projected path of the storm, it is set truly to hit there a lot Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then be up into the Maritimes in Canada and hit Canada later on Sunday, and then be out to sea after that. So I'll keep an eye and keep you up to date. But we have the Caribbean Princess and the Emerald Princess who are sailing right now. And it turns out that their itineraries have already been impacted. Princess Cruises, as I'm sure all the cruise lines are looking forward, they're looking at those projections and knowing that they need to take action. So the bottom line is, with the Emerald Princess, they are supposed to be calling in Nova Scotia at Halifax tomorrow, and they are no longer going to call there. They are extending their call in St. John, Canada today, clear till 7 p.m. so that people have a little bit more time to enjoy that port. And then they are going to head back down to New York City and arrive in New York City on Friday, which is a day early. They were set to arrive there early Saturday morning, which is the day that I get to embark on the beautiful Emerald Princess. But they get to enjoy staying on the ship. Of course, the casino won't be open and the shops won't be open, but people can still enjoy the specialty dining and the spa and everything else on board that ship. And also, once they are processed through customs, they can come and go from the ship as they want to. So when they pull in there on Friday, if you want to go if you're on that ship and you want to go sightseeing in New York, you can go sightseeing in New York. I think that's a lovely option. You don't expect these things, but I think it's the key is finding the silver lining in whatever happens. So that's what's going to happen with the Emerald Princess. I have not received an email from Princess regarding any changes to our embarkation schedule, and so I'll keep you up to date if I do receive anything, and of course I'll take you with me when I go. Now, the Caribbean Princess has a bigger adjustment to her itinerary. So the Caribbean Princess there will no longer call to Charlottetown there in Prince Edward Island, Halifax, Nova Scotia, or Bar Harbor, Maine. They are going to they're going to go to Sydney, Nova Scotia today and be there today rather than they were scheduled to be there tomorrow on Thursday. So they're going to be there today. And then they are going to head down to Boston to shelter from the storm. They are going to arrive in Boston at 9 o'clock in the morning on Friday, and they are going to stay there until 10 p.m. on Sunday. So that is quite a long stay. 9 a.m. on Friday until 10 p.m. on Sunday, which basically gives you all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. Now, it does remind everyone that everybody has to go through immigration clearance once you arrive, but then you can come and go from the ship as you want to. Now, mind you, it might be windy and rainy, but what a wonderful opportunity to have some days to go sightseeing in Boston. So thinking about that, and I have been there, as I've shared with you lots of times, many times. And so I thought I would share with you some things that I would do if I were on that ship and it pulled into port, what I would want to see if I had a few days there. Now, of course, you can do things like walk the Freedom Trail, and that is an outside thing, but I have walked around Boston in a lot of rain before because it rains there, and it's been okay. But of course, keep the weather in mind with what you choose to do. But the Freedom Trail is amazing. It takes you to all the places that you think of when you think of the American Revolution here in the United States, and it is definitely worth going to. And in the course of that, you go to like Old North Church, you go to like Paul Revere's house. Just so many places. You get over to the USS Constitution, you go to Bunker Hill, so many things. If you think, well, I don't know that I want to walk, you can go on. Boston has both the trolley tours and they have the duck tours. And the nice thing about those is they are inside. So if you happen to be taking that tour when it's pouring down rain, you can enjoy the narration. Both of them have tour guides that talk the whole time. And really, every time I have not done the duck tour yet. I have been standing on the sidewalk a lot of times when it has driven by and heard the narration. That's on my bucket list to do. And I'm waiting till my granddaughter's old enough that their parents feel like we can take them on that. Then we're going, because the duck tour goes into the Charles River. It's one of those that is shaped like a boat, but it's a truck kind of bus thing. And then when you get to the Charles, it just drives right in and you get to go on a short boat ride. Anyway, I would say those are really wonderful options as well. And they work on, and the trolley tours work like hop on, hop off buses do, in that they have all these different stops and you can get on and off as many times as you want to. And if it's just raining and you're enjoying the narration, you can go around the circle twice, however you want to do it. But those are really good options. They've got the Boston Museum of Fine Art. They've got the Boston Public Library. In the Boston Public Library is actually John Adams, his presidential library. That's how that is. Also, they've got Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. They've got I'm trying to think of all the places. If you want to rent a car, renting a car I think would be a good option because you have so much time there. You can drive around, drive down to Quincy, go see John Adams' home. That is beautiful. It's actually John Quincy Adams Presidential Library there. It is so many historical places to see. With the weather, I don't know if you're going to want to go down to Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, see that, take the ferry. Let's see what else was on my list. You can go walk around Harvard. There's a cool burial ground right there. A church from early in the 1600s. I think it's called the First... I'm not sure. I can't remember right off. But there's a lot of fun things to do there in the shopping area right by Harvard Yard. Just an awful lot to see, a lot of historical places. And also if you rent the car, you could go out to Concord and see all the history that's out there. There's like Minuteman National Park. I just threw some ideas out there for you, but I would definitely take advantage of it. Unless the weather is so bad that there is no way you should be off the ship, I would definitely be out there seeing things. And incidentally, I looked at the map, and where the cruise terminal is there is kind of tucked around, so it should be sheltered. It will not be receiving the brunt of the Atlantic Ocean there hitting the ship as that storm moves through. So I'm anxious to hear from everyone who's on that ship. So let us know how all of this progresses and how it turns out, and I'll let you know. Really the biggest worries there is the rain, but mainly the waves and the heights of the tide along with the winds. Those are the big worries. Okay, now I got this kick out of, yesterday I told you about the cruise ship that was grounded in Greenland, and it's grounded right there by a national park in a very remote area. But I looked through the headlines about it, and it's all, a cruise ship runs aground, until I came to one, and it says, and this is how they title their story about a cruise ship running aground in Greenland. It says, 2 passengers with COVID on board cruise ship grounded off Greenland. And it's probably just the side of me that follows so much news to do with cruise ships that I thought, that's the title you chose. So during the course of the story, they share that there are 2 passengers on board that ship, and they are isolated. And they had already told the other passengers on board that those passengers are there. I don't know exactly when the funny business with the press reporting and the way they do it is going to end. Probably never, but I got a kick out of that. But they are hoping that today a ship that is able to pull them off of being grounded when the tide is high will be able to help dislodge that ship, and that everything will be okay. They are still reporting that the ship is okay, that the environment around there, nothing was damaged, and that everyone on board is okay. So these people definitely have the story of a lifetime to share, and we'll keep an eye on that ship and see when they've got her free from being grounded there in Greenland. Alrighty, the next thing here is let's talk for a minute. We talk an awful lot about Princess and the changes that they made to their packages. Well, we have a Let's Go family member, and it's really fun. So a couple of you were so kind. One of you was so nice to say, apparently on the Emerald Princess yesterday, when they were going back to the ship, the tender got lost in the fog, which caused a lot of nervousness for some time there, but then they finally figured it out and were able to get back to the ship okay. But they have had a very rainy, foggy, dreary cruise thus far, but surely they will have a story to tell with everything that goes on with the hurricane and the weather associated with it there. But one of our Let's Go family members who is on board gave the restaurant, it's one of the new casual dinings as they're termed, steamers a try. Now remember, steamers cost $14.99 a person if you don't have the Plus package. If you have the Plus package, you get 2 of those casual dinings for a cruise. And if you've got the Premier package, you get as many as you want. Alrighty, but I wanted to share this with you because I find it really helpful, both so that we can know the quality of food and what to expect, but also if we don't have the package, we can decide if we want to pay for it, or if we're trying to decide which package to get, how many of those casual dinings do we want. I think this plays into it as well. Let me let you also know that she said that the food in the main dining room has been very good. They had only had breakfast in the buffet and said that it had been really good as well. So at Steamers, she said that she had so many mussels that came along with their order that she couldn't finish them. They were able to order lobster and crab for an additional $10. So they have the Plus package, so they didn't have to pay the $14.99, so they just paid the $10 extra for the crab and lobster. But she said that $14.99, that fixed price menu, comes with includes a cocktail and on the house appetizer, and they got the ceviche baby scallops. They also for their main course, for her, she chose mussels with kielbasa, baby scallops, and potatoes, and corn on the cob. And her husband had the fried platter, which includes a fish cake, 3 fried shrimp, 2 pieces of fried fish, and French fries. She said that there was so much food that neither one of them could finish it, and they thought it was really good, enjoyed it, and they are looking forward to trying it again. They are also going to give a try, what's the other one they're going to try? Planks. They are also going to try Planks, which is more of a barbecue restaurant. So I'm anxious to hear about that. I'm planning when I'm on the Emerald Princess to take a look and decide if I think I'm going to try their casual dining restaurants just so that I can tell you about them, unless I really think I won't like what they're serving. But I'm looking forward to seeing what that's like and trying it out for the $14.99 and just seeing how that all works so I can tell you about it. The other thing that I was really valuable. Well, I don't know. To those of you who enjoy playing in the casino, she said they had been doing that. The casino has been good, up and down, and they're hoping, of course, to get a little bit of free play next time. So it sounds like they're having a wonderful cruise in spite of the weather, which is great. Happy to hear that. Now, what's going on with Nicaragua? It looks like on the Panama Canal cruises that Nicaragua is being taken off as a port of call. Right now, the government of Nicaragua will not allow cruise ships to call there, and so that is being taken off. But instead of going to Nicaragua, the cruise ships, it looks like for right now, are going to have a sea day. That is across the board on all the itineraries that I have seen changed, which is 3. And so let me know if you have any different change on your itinerary, because I can see that maybe in the future they'll want to change things up a little bit. But if you look at the map and where Nicaragua is, I am not sure what they would maybe try to do instead. So for now, it might stay as a sea day. I will add that a lot of people on Panama Canal cruises, and we've talked about it here, have not been able to make their call in Nicaragua. It has been on their itinerary, and then they are not able to go there. So let me know if that happened to you. Anything that any of you can share with that as well is really appreciated. I was looking for announcements on that, and I have not seen anything across the board from Princess other than they're making those itinerary changes and citing the government of Nicaragua as the reason. Another quick update if you're going to Venice. So Venice has voted, they have decided that they are going to put into place a €5 charge for day visitors to the city of Venice. Apparently they want to try to curb tourism a little bit. They feel like they have an awful lot of visitors and they don't want quite so many. So in an attempt to do that, they are going to charge a €5 charge. They are going to try this out in 2024 over 30 non-consecutive days. Couldn't find a list of the days that they are going to do it. But historically, and a lot of cities do this, there is a tax that is attached to your hotel that is charged. In Venice, it's the same thing, especially up for the first 5 days that you are in a city. Those taxes will be a little bit higher, they say, for your hotel. But this is the first time they are putting it into place to tax day visitors. I don't know how they are going to make people pay. I don't know if it will be as you disembark. For the most part, you have to get to Venice somehow, and I don't know if they will be doing it as you disembark a water taxi or exactly. So I'll keep my eye out for news on that. Wanted to let you know, to me, €5 is not a barrier to entry. A couple of the news articles I read cited what Bhutan, Bhutan, that country did. One of their cities charged a $200 a day tax for day visitors, and they wanted to attract fewer and higher quality day visitors. Well, that kind of worked a little bit too well, so recently they have had to slash that in half and only charge $100 because they want more tourism than they're getting now. So I can see that much would maybe deter people, but €5, I think it might just be a way for Venice to earn some money and maybe use that money to mitigate a little bit of what they feel like some of the downside is of having so many visitors come. But it'll be interesting to see how they start that and how it goes. So if you happen to be there in Venice on one of those days, let us know. Thank you very much for being with me today. It's been very nice to see you. If you have any questions, please put it down below. I look forward to hearing your comments. Let me know what's on your mind today, and I'll keep my eye out. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.